Hello and hi to everyone who are watching me right now. Myself Miss Nidhi Borana, and today I am here to start with Standard 8 1.2 chapter, that is Dick Whittington and his cat part 1. Yes, I have divided this chapter into two equal parts for easy and better understanding of students. There are many other videos like 1.1, 1.3, 1.45, all are streaming on the channel, so do check them out. The link for the same is given in the description box below. So without wasting any further time, let's move ahead with the chapter. There was once a poor boy called Dick Whittington. It's a really great story, students. So be with me till the end of the video. There was this one poor boy named to be as Dick Whittington who lived in a small village in the south of England. He had no proper home for both his parents and died, and he was unkindly treated by many of the villagers. What a sad story of this poor boy Dick Whittington. He used to live in a small village in the south of England. He had no proper home, both of his parents were no more, and the others were not treating him in a good manner. So one day, Dick overheard someone say that the streets of London were paved with gold and decided that he would go there at once and pick his fortune up in the gold piece from these streets. So basically, what happened one day? Dick has overheard someone saying, overheard means to listen someone speaking. Okay, so he heard someone saying that the streets of London were paved with gold. Paved with gold means made up of gold. Okay, and he became so happy that he would go there and change his fortune. Now students, what does the word fortune means? Fortune means luck. So he thought that he would go there and pick up a piece of a gold from the street, and that would change his luck. What happened further? Let's see. He thought people might treat him more kindly if he were rich. So young Dick set out to walk to London, and he had not gone far when he saw a man on the cart who stopped him and asked if he was running away from home. Now, Dick was a small boy, right? And if you see a small boy just roaming here and there on the street with his luggage, you would also assume the same, that is he running from his home? And that's what the carter thought. Okay, he was passing by from the cart and he thought, is this a boy running away from home? He asked him. And Dick replied, I have no home. I am on my way to London to find my fortune. I'm going to London myself, said the carter. So, when Dick said, I have no home, the carter means, students, the one who drives the cart. Okay, so in the London, on the streets of England, it used to be very common. The cart used to go run on the street for people to move from one place to another. So the carter said that I'm myself going towards London. So he asked him to jump here beside him, and they decided to journey together till London. Let's see what happened next to their journey. So they arrived in London just before nightfall. Just before nightfall means in the evening when the sun was already dusky, and the night was about to fall. And the carter left Dick and made his way to an inn. What does inn mean, students? A hotel, a place or accommodation for the travelers. जहाँ पे आप travel करते हो तो आपको कहीं पे रुकना होता है. So that place is known to be as the inn for travelers. So poor Dick stood there alone, looked around him in dismay. Dismay means disbelief. Where was all that fine gold? The question came to his mind that he was here to get the fine gold. He heard someone saying that the streets of London were paved with gold, you remember? So when he reached over there, he could not find the gold streets, and so he was wondering that where is all the gold? All he could see were dirty streets and lots of unfriendly people. He had nowhere to sleep, and in the end, he spent the night in the corner of an alley where he hoped he would come to no harm. So he spent the night in the alley. What does alley means? Like you can see on the screen, yeah, there are two buildings and a narrow road in between. The alley is just like that. Okay, so he had spent his night over there in the corner of an alley, a narrow passageway between or behind the buildings. Okay, the next morning, Dick woke up cold, miserable, and very hungry. He wandered around begging for food. Wandered means moving from one place to another. He was begging for food. He was very hungry. It was cold in London that time, and and again, people shouted at him, "Go away, you lazy fellow! Be off with you!" and aimed angry blows at his head. So people were hitting him. Now even I'm feeling bad for this poor little boy. Okay, so people were hitting him up, they were asking him to go away, lazy fellow. And at last, out of hunger, he collapsed in the street and lay there too weak to further ask for food. So he felt dizzy because he had not eaten since a long time, and he collapsed over there. What happened further? And by chance, the place where the dick had fallen, it was in front of a house which belonged to a rich merchant. And the name of the rich merchant was Mr. Fitzwarren. So the cook was trying to drive the dick away, that shh, don't come here, you poor little boy. Why have you fallen here? Go away in front of the gate. Okay, and just then Mr. Fitzwarren returned home from inspecting his ships. So what we get to know, that this rich merchant, Mr. Fitzwarren, is having a lot of ships, and during that time the one who used to own ships were considered to be as belonging to a wealthy family. Okay, so what a good luck. Let's see whether this turns out to be lucky for Dick or this turns out to be a disaster for Dick. Let's see further with the story. So he stopped and said to Dick, "Why don't you work if you need food?" Yeah, which was true. Instead of begging, he should work to get the food. But what did Dick reply? "I would work, but I know nobody who will give me anything to do." So he said that I'm ready to work, but there is no one who's going to give me work. Just then, Mr. Fitzwarren said to the cook that take him into the kitchen, feed him first, and then find some work for him. Okay, so he was ready to give work to Dick, and in return, Dick would get some food, a good food, and a place to stay. So Dick was given a home and a living. He had a small corner of the attic to sleep in. Now, what does attic mean, students? Attic is a place in the top roof of the house. Okay, ऊपर roof में छत में जो छोटी सी जगह होती है वो उसे दे दिया गया था to sleep. And his job was to help the cook with all the pots and pans in the kitchen. So Dick's life should have been much better than before, but he had still two major difficulties to face. Now, this question is quite common in the exam, that what are the two difficulties that Dick has to face? So, let's see. The first one was that the attic he slept in was overrun by rats and mice. Yeah. So, there were too many rats, just like Jerry over there. And at night, they scampered all over him. Scampered means they used to move from all over him and kept him awake. So after a time, he solved this problem by saving the few pennies. Pennies means few money, and he was paid and buying himself a cat. And after saving the money, he bought a cat for himself. Now, do you got his logic, students? Yeah, to run instead of running away behind those mice and getting irritated by them, he decided that he will bring their enemy into the picture, and so he bought the cat. So in no time at all, the cat chased away all the rats and mice, and Dick was able to sleep peacefully. So this was one of the issue which he quickly solved it up. What was the another difficulty that he faced? So the other difficulty which was not so easy to overcome was the cook's bad temper. Yes, you remember the cook who was trying to shoo him away when he collapsed in front of Mr. Fitzwarren's house? Yeah, the same cook was a very bad temper person, and she used to shout at him, scream at him all the day, and even scold Dick. Not just that, she used to hit him with a wooden spoon. And sometimes when he was working as hard as he could, still she was not happy with him. One night, Dick decided that he could stand it no more. Early the next morning, before the cook was up, he set out with his cat to seek his fortune somewhere else. So he was so frustrated with the cook that he decided that I cannot bear this anymore. I am going to leave from this place. And then two of them. Who two of them, students? The cat and the Dick Whittington. So they walked as far as Holloway on their way out of London. Holloway is again a place. So they were walking out of the London. Just then, Dick was quite tired and he sat on the stone to rest. Now, what happened further? Let's see. As he was taking the rest, it was the 1st of November that day. And 1st of November is celebrated as All Saints' Day. And the church bells were ringing. As Dick sat and listened, it seemed they were ringing out a message for him. It felt as if those bells are trying to give a message to Dick. So what message Dick could hear out of those bells? Let's see. Turn again, Whittington, thou worthy citizen, Lord Mayor of London. Yeah, so he could hear those words from the bell as if this message has been ringing for him only. That turn again, Whittington, turn back to London, Whittington, thou worthy citizen. Thou means you are a worthy citizen who will be the Lord Mayor of London. Okay, Lord Mayor of London. Dick was shocked to hear it. I should like to be the Lord Mayor and ride in a fine coach. So he was now daydreaming that, yeah, who doesn't want to become a Lord Mayor? I can put up a few scoldings from the cook if that is what is in store for me. So he thought, ठीक है, Lord Mayor बनने के लिए अगर थोड़ा सा कुक को बेयर करना पड़ेगा, उसकी स्कोल्डिंग सुननी पड़ेगी, डांट सुननी पड़ेगी, तो मैं सुन लूंगा. आखिरकार, I am going to be the Lord Mayor of London. So Dick and his cat retraced their steps to Mr. Fitzwarren's house. So they retraced their steps means they went back to Mr. Fitzwarren's house. Luckily, they were able to slip back before they had been missed. Now Fitzwarren used to send ships for across the sea to trade with other countries. Now before everyone was wake up, they both reached back home and nobody knew that they were about to leave the house and were running away. Now Mr. Fitzwarren is the person who used to send ships far across the sea to trade with the other countries. He would load up the ships with the good for the captain and the ship's crew to sell in far away places. और फिर उसे बहुत सारा पैसा मिलता था. Okay, and bring back goods that could be sold at home. So kind of import-export trading that Mr. Fitzwarren used to do. He used to take up goods from here and ask captain and the crew to sell it far away in the other countries. And they used to bring back the goods which can be sold off in London. So that's how Mr. Fitzwarren business was there. But our question is that is Dick going to be a wealthy person? The message which he heard from the church bell that he is the Lord Mayor of London. So is he going to be that? What Mr. Fitzwarren's role is going to be further in the story? So these are the questions which will be answered to you only and only when we actually complete our second part. So eagerly make sure that you subscribe to the channel, and part 2 is going to come very soon. I'm also very eager to know what happened further, and with that, thank you so much to everyone who have watched this video till end and subscribe to the channel. There are many more videos which are already streaming on the channel. Do take a look of that, and if you like this, make sure to comment. If you still have any queries, I would be really happy to answer you in the comment box, and see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.